Hey everybody, my name is Chris Chana. I'm the founder of Touch Senior Care, and today I'm going to talk to you about perspective. And I got a little chart here. I'll show you a little the prism. I don't know if you can see that, the prism. The reason why I'm showing that to you though is that we, when the whole saying of we live in a colorful world. Or people just having different perspectives. It's important to understand that. You look on this chart, look, see here? You see that? I don't even see this, okay? We got white light, so the sun, going through a glass prism, and it produces all these colors, okay? And these colors are representative of all the different views of the world, all the different people and their views and their perspectives. And it's important to understand that, okay? Because in this world, there's always gonna be people that are living in this world and they're viewing it through different colored lenses, okay? And that's why I'm showing this to you, because we all live in the same world, okay? The world in which we live in is it's Earth, okay? That did not change. What is different is that all of us are living through different experiences, different perspectives because of a lot of different things. Maybe it's where we grew up. Maybe it's the country we grew up in. Maybe it's our parents that we grew up with. Maybe it's the influences on our life, because of relationships or because of a previous job. Who knows what the reason is? But the reality of it is we're all living through a different, viewing the world through a different colored lens. And so we can't sit here and just think that because this is how I view the world, everyone else in the world should view the world the same way I view the world. And so today I want to kind of break that down a little bit, help you guys understand all the different perspectives that are happening today, because it's important for us to understand that, hey, someone's going to view the world this way, this person's going to view the world that way, and we have to find a way to come together because we're all in this whole thing together. We're not escaping this, okay? And it's important because there's a lot of emotions are running high, their stress is running high, fear is running high. There's all these things that are causing our emotional responses we have a high sensitivity right now with our emotional responses. So I think it's important to kind of do a self-assessment. Am I self-aware enough, that of my emotional responses? How am I processing information? Am I in fear? Am I concerned? Am I depressed? Am I happy? Am I sad? What's affecting me? Why is it affecting me? If I can understand those things, I can make better and more clear judgments of, based on what's going on. So let's go through it real quick, okay? So, just so you know, this doesn't mean that anyone on this side of the chart is only on this side of the chart, because someone could be over here and over there and over here and over there. Who knows which, it doesn't really matter. It's just that, okay, if I take this line, okay, when it comes to pure safety, this one right here, right, safety, you have those that are on the extreme side, that are hating. They're hating on people, they're shaming people, they're putting people down, they're making people feel like idiots, they're calling them names, they're being they're rude, they're hateful, they're controversial, they're treating people like dirt, and that's on the extreme side. That now I'm not saying that that's everybody, but that's one perspective. Then you have the other side, those that are invincible. Maybe are spring breakers, I don't know. But the mindset of the person, nothing can kill me. I've never been sick in my life. This is not even real. It's not gonna affect me. But the reality of it is there's gotta be some perspective that we can come to, some sort of compromise, some sort of general understanding where both parties on these extremes can see through a similar lens, where we take these extreme polar opposites, we take the red and the blue, and we can kind of come together and see purple, Anyways, I don't know, is red and blue make purple? I think so. So that kind of middle perspective might be someone that's okay, all right, I understand there's risks. I understand that I should take certain safety precautions. I should wear my mask. I should potentially keep gloves with me and recycle, or not recycle, but use disposable gloves. I should wash my hands often. I should be conscientious of the things that I touch and the interactions that I have, and the distances that I am between people. I understand the risk, and I'm taking the precautions, and I'm practicing and I'm exercising safety, because I know that maybe I'm entering into this new world, and this new world is a world that which like this virus doesn't just like go away after a month in quarantine or 40 days in quarantine. You know, it's here. You know, we're gonna face it at some point, whether we have a vaccine or not. You know, so you might have this ultra extreme party that's causing shame on people, and you have this other side that's, you know, these people that feel like they're invincible. But there definitely has to be a middle area, some middle ground where it makes sense. You know, I'm exercising safety, I'm taking precautions, I understand the risks, because no matter what, I'm going to have to experience this virus at some point in my life. There's no escaping it. I'm not going to enter the world and not have to enter a world that this virus doesn't exist, because it's here now. It's here, you know, it'll be here until, you know, there's a vaccine for it or we get immune to it or whatever the case may be, right? The other side, we got financially secure versus money's tight. I'm living paycheck to paycheck, okay? So, you know, you have a lot of conversations, you know, people that are financially secure, they're not worried about, you know, their financial future. Maybe they have a pension, maybe they're retired, maybe they have a 401k, they have a steady income, maybe they have a stable job, maybe their job's recession proof, maybe they're a saver, they're a planner, they work remotely, and their company, they're able to work remotely, it's no big deal. Okay, then all of a sudden you have maybe someone in this court over here, and they're like, you know, we don't need to go back to work yet. Like, you know, we should stay closed till June, so we know it's safe. And but they're still able to pay for their expenses and their living expenses and afford things, you know. But then you might have a person over here. Maybe they make tips. Maybe they live paycheck to paycheck. You know, maybe they wonder, how am I going to survive? How am I physically going to purchase food? How am I going to pay for my rent? How, you know, am I going to lose my home or not? And you know, maybe they're a sole proprietor, maybe they're an entrepreneur, maybe they're a small business owner, where they just lost their entire income, and they're freaking out. They're like, I'm gonna lose my house, I'm gonna lose my car, I'm gonna lose my entire team, I'm gonna lose my business, I'm gonna lose all this stuff, you know, and they're freaking out. They're like, hey, we need to get back to work, you know, we need to get my team back to work. I need to do all these things because we're about to lose it all, you know. And so you have that extreme, and you have this extreme, and these polar opposites, you know, like the person that's living where the money is super tight cannot understand or see or does not view the world from the same perspective that the person that's financially secure. And same with the person that's financially secure. It's like, look, like, they should close this thing till July. Maybe let's not even open up theme parks till next year. The reality of it is if you're looking through this world through this lens, you cannot understand or even be able to empathize or totally get this world over here, because you don't live in that perspective. You have your own perspective. So it's like, how do we come together on that? How do we evaluate the economic impacts? You know, like what really are the economic impacts of this virus in the long run? How's this going to affect people? How are people going to survive? You know, are people going to lose homes? Are people going to lose their businesses? You know, like literally, is there going to be a disruption in the food, supply chain, where all of a sudden even food becomes scarce? Like, we had to run on toilet paper, now we have to run on just food. Like, we've never had that problem before. We always go to Publix and there's just always food. We've never had to worry about, okay, well, what happens if there's not, right? So have I totally understood and evaluated the economic impacts? Do I understand and how to operate my business in a safe manner? So meaning, whether I own a business or whether I work in a business, and we're like trying to figure out I understand it's important for us to protect all of those that we care for and just, you know, protect others and for safety reasons. So how can we come together and practice safe, co-working environments? You know, how do I make sure that my office environment is safe? How do I make sure that we're practicing safety when it comes to interacting with coworkers, you know, in an office environment or in an environment where we have to work together with each other? You know, just thinking, okay, what plans can I implement to operate in a safe manner? But there's got to be a middle ground where I can come together and I'm like, okay, the financially secure people are like, look, I totally get what's happening here, and we got to get this population back to work, you know, because I'm living in this bubble. And this bubble is very different from that bubble, because in this bubble, hey man, we're good. You know, there's not too many problems. You know, I can still pay my bills. Over here, we're like, I can't pay rent. I'm about to lose my house. I can't even afford food. You know, like totally. I'm on the verge of being homeless. And over here, like, I got all my bills paid, and you know, I have no debt. And what's the problem? So there's definitely a middle ground that we have to consider, and we got to be able to see this from both perspectives. And then the other side too is this other perspective. Okay, they get the mainstream media, and they get the conspiracy theorists. And the mainstream media folks, maybe you got, first of all, this is gonna be purely a fear-based system. There's gonna be a lot of fear, and you're pushing fear all day long. I mean, honestly, in my sister, she was a journalist, and they push. I mean, that like when you have a murder or you have a car accident, this that, like those stories are the ones they want. It's like, get out there as fast as possible, and like they actually tally. What's crazy is in a lot of news stations, they will literally, like, it'll be like a scoreboard for like the number of murders, the number of severe things that are going to cause a lot of hype on the news. They want to be a part of those, and those things are like they're actually tracking that stuff for ratings. It's crazy. But then you have people that are like religious to CNN or religious to the left, and also the right, Fox. You have people that they only follow Fox. Whatever Fox says is the truth. Whatever CNN says is the truth. This is how it is. Like, they can't see any other way. Then you got maybe Fauci versus Trump. I don't know really. I don't pay attention that much, but I'm just throwing stuff out there. Maybe you got people that are like Fauci fans, people that are Trump fans, and maybe they have different views. But then they're hardcore religious. Like, whatever Fauci says, it is religion. It is exactly what you need to do. But there's like thousands of virologists and scientists and physicians, and everyone's got different opinions and different studies and different scientific evidence. Then you got the conspiracy theories. Like, this is a bioweapon from the China to the U.S., or it's 5G's taking over and it's causing all these people to have these problems. Or you have a depopulation by through vaccine. Okay, who knows? Who knows what is right? What's true? What's real? It really is so hard to tell these days. I mean, like, even just watching mainstream media, it's so confusing. It's one day to the next they're telling you something different. It's hard to really understand what is true. So I'm saying, okay, can we understand the data? Can we make decisions based on the data that we have? Okay, so if we have enough data now, this thing's been around the globe for 4 or 5 months. We have a lot of data points now. We have numbers. We have states that are tracking this thing in a way that I don't even think we've had this capacity in previous influenza cases, or I mean, when you look at the amount of data that we're tracking, you look at the amount of stuff that Google's tracking, that each state is tracking, like, it is an insane amount of data. We can really make some pretty educated decisions based on the data that we have today, because we've never ever had data like this in the past, or in 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. Influenza, any of these flu related diseases, we never had the data that we have today. It's impressive the amount of data we have today. It's amazing what us as consumers can go learn about our markets, the areas that we live in. And so, can we use the data to make smart decisions and make logical decisions based on the data, not based on all the media hype, not based on one incident that gets polarized and then turns into a large narrative instead of one incident out of 350 million people. Or not over here, like, oh, 5G, let's go take down the towers, let's burn them up. Like who knows? That's extreme. And then we have data. Okay, we have data, we have information. We can make logical decisions based on that information. We can use the tools that's provided by the Florida Department of Health, or the CDC, or there's a lot of different things out there that can help us make more logical decisions based on actual facts, the numbers that we have. And so therefore, we can come together, we can find ways to practice safety. We can think about, okay, our work environment, how do we create this work environment better? But just understand that everyone is gonna have a different perspective, okay? And the reality of it is there's a little bit of truth mixed in all of it here, okay? And so we have to find a way to take the different colored, these different perspectives that we have, and find a way to understand, to see the world like how, okay, I'm looking over here, I can see how they can see it that way, but I can understand why they're thinking it, why they're coming from the perspective they're coming from. Maybe, you have people over here, maybe they work in healthcare, they're seeing it on the front lines, they have a different perspective than maybe say someone over here that's been sitting home for 3, 4, 5 weeks on a computer all day and been able to find every conspiracy theory out there. So you have people that are working on the front lines that are seeing it, firsthand. You have people over here that are, sitting at home, but maybe, and maybe that's not even the case. Maybe the roles are reversed. Maybe you have people that are working on the front lines that feel this way. My point is that every person, no matter what, is going to have a different perspective. We all live on this planet, okay, the same planet, but we all have different upbringings and different backgrounds and different beliefs and different values and different principles and different perspectives. We literally put on a different, set of glasses with a completely different lens than than those that we work with, or those that we know, or those that we have relationships with, or that we, so we cannot sit here and only see the world through our glasses. We need to try to put on someone else's glasses and try to see the world through their lenses and understand where they're coming from, and then try to find a way to help both parties get to a mutual agreement so we can continue to move forward. Because we have to find a way to move forward. We have to find a way to get, to help our, our colleagues, our coworkers, the people that we have relationships with and that we have friendships with. We have to find a way for us all to work together, and we don't always have to agree, but we have to find a way for all of us to work together, because we are all living on this earth together, and we all have to respect each other's perspectives and try to understand, okay, how does that person get to that point of view? Why do they have that point of view? What is it about that point of view? Can I be more open-minded? Can I ask more questions? Can I try to at least understand other people's perspectives before I start, making and putting all that judgment on them, because I'm only judging them based on my perspective and not the perspective of not their perspective, not how they view the world. So anyways, I hope this helps. I think it's important. I think right now is a time where people are going through just crazy emotional struggles. People need support. People need to feel they're loved, that they're supported, that they have supported, just encouragement around them. And right now, people are going through some very, very difficult times in their lives, some very uncertain times. And that uncertainty, that fear, the fear of the unknown of the future and what that holds, can be very, very debilitating to a lot of people. And so it causes emotions to rise. And this is one of those times where, more than ever, we need to come together, we need to work together, we need to try to be open-minded and see through each other's perspectives, and realize that we're here to help one another, we're here to help support each other, and we're all in this together. And thank you so much for supporting us and for all you guys do. You guys are amazing. I'll see y'all soon. Have a great day.